Hi, my name is David McLeod. I'm the creator of the Daily Affirmation program. Welcome to today's video presentation. Several years ago, I attended a meditation training, and the instructor introduced me to a very powerful process called the repeated question. Now, this process typically involves two people, and one of them is designated as the asker, and the other is designated as the responder. When the process starts, the asker asks the question and then just sits quietly until the responder provides an answer. Then the asker says, "Thank you," and then just repeats the question, again waiting for a response. Each time the responder answers, the asker simply says "thank you" and then repeats the question. This goes on for 5 minutes or so. Now, the asker can make the process a little more interesting by changing tone or inflection each time he or she asks the question. Vocal variety can help the responder to look at the question in different ways and to come up with a lot more seemingly unrelated answers. Now, I've used this process many times with many different people, and I've tried using the process with different questions in different contexts. But for me personally, the most powerful question I've found is the very simple question, who are you? And although I really love doing this process when I have a partner to work with, I figured out a way to do it by myself. I use a mirror. Yeah, I imagine my reflection being the asker and me being the responder. So when I ask the question, who are you, I imagine myself being over there in the mirror, and when I'm considering response, I metaphorically jump back into my body over here. But I've also discovered that I can do this process without a mirror. So I'll sometimes sit in my favorite meditation pose with my eyes closed, and I'll do maybe 20 to 30 minutes of this process. And instead of asking, who are you, I ask, who am I? Now, this process works great for helping me to see and experience who I really am. The number of different responses I come up with astounds me, and the depth of the responses also impresses me. Now, you might well ask, why am I telling you all of this? Well, there are two reasons. First, I would love for you to be able to use this process for yourself and to see what happens when you do it, either with a partner or by yourself. Second, I just wanted to share with you what I've learned about myself by doing this exercise so many times, because I think you'll begin to learn similar things about yourself when you do it. You see, I've been doing this exercise a lot over the last few weeks, and the big thing that I've been learning is that I am much, much bigger than I ever thought possible. In fact, what I've been learning is that I am so big as to be immeasurably big. In other words, infinite. Now, I'm not saying this as a boast, but what I've come to realize is that the limitations that I impose on myself are derived strictly from my physical world, 5-sense experience of life. Another thing I've learned is that every answer I come up with doesn't seem to be completely true statement about me. For example, I might say I am a poet, or I am a father, or I am sensual and powerful. But each of these statements is merely a description of some role I play in life or some characteristic I recognize in myself, and not necessarily a full description of who I really am. And so I discard the answer as being inaccurate. Now, the interesting thing is, as I continue to discard these inaccurate answers, I begin to strip away all that I am not. Eventually, I stop coming up with answers and I begin to have the sense of being nothing at all. And that is a moment of pure joy and liberation for me, because I no longer feel any kind of need to explain myself. I am completely free to not be. It's an amazing experience and one I highly recommend if you're up for it. Give the repeated question process a try for yourself and let me know what kind of results you have. Have a great week. Thanks so much for listening.